Yo, bloggers out now, no. This your boy Farai. Thank you for coming through, the podcast. Expect to have a good time, man.
What's the word? Yeah, I know the vibes. If you're listening, welcome. You get to hear the wonderful Mr. Deshaun Webb. And if you're watching, you get to see the luxurious Mr. Deshaun Webb. I already know what time it is. And we have with us our next host, our next co-host. Talk your shit, man.
Yo, I don't know how I'm gonna follow up with this luxurious thing. I gotta come up with some bars, man. But this your boy brand. I know the vibes, man.
And we have one return guest and one new guest. We get my brother. Yeah, I seen him in the last party. We were cutting up a little bit. We get my boy Twan. Talk your shit, Twan.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. Twan Gotti.
And,
You know what I'm
and
saying? That's it. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's just enough, man. The conversation crazy enough, you know what I'm saying? But we also have a new guest, the beautiful Miss Indy. Talk your shit.
Hey y'all. I don't have nothing to
What up?
say either.
Hey,
Sweet and simple,
that's
sweet
good.
and simple.
That works. Without further ado, I'm gonna pass it on to my dog Far, right? Set this thing off, man. Set this thing off.
All right. So on Facebook the other day, I saw this post from this young lady. Her name is Nikki. I don't know who she is from anywhere. It just was a post. But she said, we can unbig our backs, but can y'all unlittle them dicks? You know? And yeah, key. That shit funny, sure. But then I got to thinking, I go into random deep thoughts, talking with myself. And if that was to be a guy that said, we can't unlittle them dicks, but can y'all unbig them backs? It would be this girl, this lady, she got what, like 250 plus laughs, reactions on this thing. We're just thinking of it from the, if a man was to do that just in reverse, talking that shit, he would be crucified. And then that just got to a deeper topic of just the fact that men tend to not be able to have preferences or have an opinion about women without it being just a major uproar, a major issue. So, hey, let's talk about it, man.
I completely agree. It's a big double standard. I feel like a man can't say anything. Women could get their shit off. Indeed, you don't have an opportunity to talk your shit, but I feel like women could get their shit off and it's all cool, it's all a kiki. But then as soon as a man open his mouth to say anything, it could be just him saying he don't mess with this kind of girl or he don't mess with that kind of girl or he not for this. And all of a sudden is he being crucified by the public, you know what I'm saying? Like he can't get anything off, he can't have a preference, he can't say anything, you know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, like Farai saying, they could get off anything. It's kind of unfair, you know what I'm saying? And then they quick to hit you with that with that little dick talk, that little penis talk, you know what I'm saying? But let you fire back. And I ain't gonna say what I fire back with, but let me fire back. And now all of a sudden eyes are criminal. Even though you fired at me as something that you can't even control, you know what I'm saying? A man can't control that. If that's what he have going on, that's what he have going on, you know what I'm saying? But I fire back with something that you could control. And I is the criminal. But then if I say, oh yeah, I can't, like that's crazy, bro. I don't think it's fair. I think it's a double standard. It is a perfect way to open this part for what we have later. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about it. But I think it's a big double standards, man. I don't think men are allowed to have that kind of voice sometimes in society. And women could be able to do so rampantly. I don't know why, but yeah, tell me how y'all feel.
Indeed, you have any
But
I want
thoughts on
Indy to give
this?
her opinion.
Because you know you are
went a long way.
the solo woman here right now. So
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm being honest, it doesn't size is not a thing if we're being honest. Some people are smaller and know how to work it. Some people are bigger and don't know how to work it. So I feel like just as long as you know what you're doing, it really shouldn't matter. If you happy with that person or if that person brings you comfort, then size really shouldn't be an issue. But everybody has their own preference, though. But it's all about the motion and ocean. If you know what you're doing, then it don't. It don't matter if
She
you know what
giggles
you're
after it
doing.
though. She
It's
giggles
all about
after
the
it
way
though.
how you work it, basically.
So let me ask you. So have you ever, and don't sit on, this has come true. So we telling the truth here. Have you ever went in your group chat and bad talk a nigga that you met because of anything like that? You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm more of a private person. Like,
Mhm.
I don't really discuss my sex life with anybody or like friends wise, and I really don't have enough friends to be in a group chat to do that. But sometimes as a female, it's different for y'all, but females are a little catty. Sometimes you can put some stuff in the group chat and be thinking that you're downplaying a dude when genuinely deep down inside the next female could be trying to go and figure out, all right, let me test it out myself. So I don't do stuff like that.
Hmm.
You got some females who feel like, oh, you said it's bad, let me go see for myself. No way. That ain't happening.
That's cool.
So I
That's
keep that type of
crazy.
stuff to myself.
So transitioning from that, from the sex reference, just in terms of preferences in the, I guess, the double standards. Like when you look at men going for somebody younger, say they 30, going for somebody 22, or 45 going for somebody 18, 20, which I mean personally I do think that's a pretty serious gap. People are always trying to label this man predator, this, that. But if an 18-year-old going for a 45-year-old, or 18-year-old woman going for like an older guy, that's fine. If a 45-year-old woman going for a younger guy, she just wants a young guy. These preferences are allowed on the woman's side, but there's always some type of negative connotation when the man is trying to do it.
Matter
Do
of
you
fact,
do you,
I have a real example that's going on right now. So you see two of them. So you see I think Drea Michelle with a basketball player with the dude from the Rockets, where he like
Yeah.
21 and she's 40 something. She have a son that's what damn near the same age as him. And then you also
They're
have
friends.
yeah, and then you have Keisha Cole who dealing with Honcho right now. Honcho 25. I don't know how old Keisha Cole is. But you see nobody's saying anything about it. But let me get up if I were 45-year-old and go deal up with a 21-year-old. All of a sudden, it's all, oh, I might have been grooming her, or I might have been doing this, and oh, why I interested in girls with younger mindset and all these kind of things. But over time, it's always, oh yeah, I want an older man, I like an older man, or I deal with older man. You even have like, for example, when Ruby Rose came out and she was saying stuff about how she was 16 in the Migos videos or whatever. Everybody but an eye until the Drake shit come out when with Kendrick and Drake, and they were talking about Drake. Now they want to bring back up the Ruby thing, but Ruby said this on a couple interviews, and she even lists off people. But it wasn't a big deal when she did it. But now, well, allegedly, it's such a crazy deal because Drake doing whatever Drake was doing. You know what I'm saying? So where do we draw the line? And that, you know what I'm saying? Like, where do we draw the line? Any no thoughts? No thoughts?
I mean, for that, you one factor that you list with a lot of these people is all of them have money. So usually when some of them people have stature and status, it tends to be like, are they famous? Because I mean, like, perfect example. Look at, it was a public relationship and they were underage. What her name be? Kylie Jenner, and when she been with Tiger. She was a teenager and this man been a grown man. That was a public relationship. That was a sexual relationship. And nobody bat the eye because, oh, they famous. So sometimes fame and money people tend to be like, oh, they're in a different kind of world. But it's like, when you are regular Joe that walk Walmart and you 45 and you picking up a 16-year-old from high school, is like, people gonna watch, the police gonna get called. So it's like, we live in a weird society when sometimes when status and money is involved, people tend to bat the eye because these things is wrong either way, but you tend to shift and move depending on the circle that person is in. So it's wrong all around, but I get what you're saying. Like, certain situations, if nobody points it out and say, hey, that's wrong, sometimes there's like, people don't care, people don't like, they don't talk about it. Like, same thing you said with Drake and them, like, you see it, but it's like, But then somebody else says it and it's like, oh yeah, for real, you know. So
Yeah, you got
that's again a
somebody
label
got
to
bring
give
it
off.
up. So Twan,
Twan,
let me
you have
ask
any
you.
thoughts?
I was gonna ask Twan. Twan, what's the youngest you going down to date?
24, probably 23.
All right, 20.
How old
That
you be,
ain't bad.
20. I'm 28 though.
Okay.
5 years in, but Indy, how about you? What's the most you would go down or up?
The youngest that I would date,
Mm.
16. Bullshit.
like
I need
26. I don't really like young guys.
See that?
Yeah,
Mm.
why? Okay, hold
Women
on.
usually don't date down until they get old.
Yeah, I don't really
What?
like young guys. I don't feel like they're not maturely developed yet. And I don't want to seem as if I'm taking advantage of somebody, you know?
You see, you sound like a real
See,
wholesome. I'm saying you sound like you're not
no,
really out here
switch
like
the
that. So
switch.
that's what I'm gonna say. So if we switch it now, what's the highest you will go? And if you don't mind, do you want to share your age just so we can have some? Nah, okay, cool. What's the in terms of years then? What's the oldest? Like how many years older would you go up?
I'll date somebody 8 years older than me.
That ain't bad.
What
So let's
age is that
say.
person?
You think you slick?
All right, so we're in consensus. What would we say is two is a little bit suspect? At what time it becomes like, all right, this don't
Say
really
that
seem
again.
too right. At what age gap does it become like, you know what, this doesn't sound too right? Let's
I
say
don't really feel like
45.
there's like a number to the age gap if y'all are both adults, but a 18-year-old or like anywhere from 17 through 20 dating someone that's like in their 30s or 40s, I just feel like that's an absolute no. So I'm guessing like anywhere from 10 to 20 year age gap, especially if they're a teen, that's just
Mhm.
too much. Because this is piggybacking on what I said. It's just like when you're dealing with someone that young, you're preying on them. Like they're not maturely developed yet and they have not went through so much. They're still learning themselves. So at this point it's like you're taking advantage of them.
To me, I go as far as to say, once you pass 21, you shouldn't be dating nobody like under 18. Like that's crazy to me in itself. I
Mm-hmm.
know the age. If you think about it, the age gap ain't really that far. Let's say you 17. You know how people that say that's 17 about to make 18 crazy shit. That's only like what, a 4 year difference. But to me, that's
Right.
still like, bro, you with somebody who just graduated high school or still in high school. Like that's kind of crazy. Like in my
Yeah, that's weird.
opinion, from the time you hit,
Yeah.
from at least for me, from the time I hit 21, I maybe would have went down to 20. After that, I'm like, I can't even talk to you. Like, you can't even get into the bar and drink. Like, that shit kind of
Exactly.
insane to me. Like, above 21, I don't want to deal with you if you're at 20. We can't even go to the same spots. Like, this shit gonna be boring. I gotta treat you like a child. Only place we could go is the hookah lounge. Like,
Arcades.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, bro. I feel like, bro, double standards, bro, is only taken seriously when it's benefiting like whoever is benefiting, if that makes sense. So like,
Mhm.
man, these women out here, if it don't benefit them, bro, they not going for it.
And
So
I'm glad you said it like that, because you say it's
like, I'm sorry, that's basically what it boils
this is
down to.
my real opinion on double standards. I don't really think, and we've talked about this before, I don't think there's much double standards that fit in men's favor as much as there is in women. And we brought it up. And I don't know if you disagree, Indy, but I feel like majority of the double standards benefit women. Men just out
They
here
got
and we
to.
just have to deal with it.
They
That's
I
got
that's
to.
my
disagree big time because not all women is
woo.
like that.
No, I'm not saying
I
I'm not
disagree
saying
big
I'm not
time.
saying all women are
Hmm.
like that, but all women
Majority.
does benefit from these double standards, whether they choose to or not. And if you disagree, share some that really benefits the men in terms
Okay,
of double
so this
standard.
might not be this kind of like on topic, but not necessarily, but it is. It's just
Mhm.
kind of like you could say that some women benefit from double standards as far as whatever they're getting from the man for say, but let's just say it's women out here who do more stuff than what the men do. And the
I
men
agree.
benefit from it.
No, that's absolutely true. But
Exactly. But we don't talk about that enough. We only talk about the females who benefit and who take
Okay.
and take and take. But what about the men who take and take and take
Can,
too?
can,
and
can
I
I can I
agree. Go ahead,
can I
Twan. Go ahead.
quality control?
Go ahead.
Okay, indie woman.
Uh-huh.
Now see, all right. When you I like your opinions because you're describing like the 10% of the
Mm-hmm.
majority. If that makes sense. So the 10%
Mm-hmm.
of women is what you're addressing, which is absolutely phenomenal, women. And any nigga that's not giving you the same energy, cut that nigga off. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully. Because
Yeah.
it ain't too many women out here that's doing that. Now, what Webb is referring to is the majority, the 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, and then Webb, you can go back into what you were saying, but that's what I just wanted to kind of elaborate.
Yeah,
not
I
only
can't
just
speak
that,
for the 90% though. I can only speak for.
I mean, but we speaking in general. Even in your example of the men that's being taken care of, a lot of women will look at them and from the outside, not the women that's actually taking care of him. The other women from the outside is gonna come and say, "Oh, he's a bum," or "He
Mm-hmm.
leeching."
Mhm.
But we do not say this about women. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no situation where we're gonna come up here and say, "Yeah, well, there is. You will say gold digger." But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, even though men will say they're gold diggers, men will still get their money and just go fuck with the same gold diggers anyhow. So as much as that holds weight, it doesn't hold as much weight as if women telling a man he's a bum. I feel that holds way more weight, especially now. Now it's like women don't give a shit if you call them a gold digger. They don't give a fuck. Sometimes they lead in with, hey, as soon as I had a woman one time, right? I've never met this girl in my life. We had just been Instagram friends. I'll compliment her here and there, right? One day, out of nowhere, mind you, I never met this woman in person. We just know each other on Instagram, right? One day, this girl had the audacity to come starting to ask me to pay some of her bills. I'm like, is you crazy? Like, men do that in your experience? Do you have a lot of men that's going to pop up in your DM and start asking you to, hey, you know, I really need help on my light bill or my phone going off. If you want to keep talking to me, I'm gonna need you to help me with the phone bill. Like that was so crazy.
Hitman cash out.
No, it depends. Like if I'm fucking with somebody tough, like I have someone who I fuck with tough. If he was to say I need help on my light bill, I'm gonna pay that light bill for him. No questions asked.
You see,
Okay, so
A
you
what's
random
just a
person though.
unicorn, man.
A random
that's
person
what I'm
No, no,
saying?
though.
no.
Fuck no. Y'all
Let she
need to
finish.
learn
Let
how
she
to start
finish.
telling females where they weird at. Females in this generation has lost all self-respect and don't have morals. That's the reason why they feel so comfortable to do it. Everybody is sexualizing themselves on social media and stuff, so they feel like if a dude is gonna slide up and tell me how good I look or how good I look to fuck, then why won't you? So y'all gotta start not normalizing that as well. If she already comes across as a hoe on her social media, leave that hoe where she at, cause she on hoe time. And hoes want money. They don't care how you doing. Hey, can I get $40? It ain't even $40 no more. I need $500. I need a car note paid. I need rent paid.
Mm-hmm.
My kid needs some school clothes.
Damn,
Preach.
you
all right.
spitting right now.
Let's get into it then.
Listen,
What is it? Yesterday or 2 days ago, Twan?
Ah,
You posted something on social media. And you shared it with me. I saw it when I went to the story. I had my thoughts on it. But it seemed it had the people a little shaking. Not the people. I won't say the people. It had a lot of women a little bit shaking. So if you would
I'm gonna
just
just say it
share,
like this, brother.
go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
just
share
say
the
it like this.
situation.
I asked a simple question. All I asked was, what's the difference between a bathing suit and your bra and panties? I asked a simple question. Man, you know what I got asked back? What's the difference between my boxers and my swimming trunks?
Wait, but give context. Give context as to why you were asking this question so the
The reason
people
I'm asking
will
that,
understand.
so the reason I was asking that question is because every time I'm on Instagram and I scroll down, all I'm seeing is bikinis. You know, the street interviewers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They doing street interviews. Females is in bikinis, ass out. That's literally underwear to me. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it as like how comfortable they became with that style, that appearance, and then for them to post it on the internet. You know what I mean? So I just was like, bro, if you really think about it, these bitches is outside and they bra and panties, and they comfortable being around a lot of men to the point where they just throwing it up on internet, and they been around kids with it too. And some of them got the ones when the thongs go up in their ass. That is disgraceful. You have no morals. And then when you talk to them about it, they want to sit up there and give you all this, well, like goofy ass excuses to why they doing it. And it's like, bro, that is, that's not it. That's not the move, baby. And I'm trying to put you on game, but you want to argue with me, and then it's like, I don't. But yeah, that's what it is.
This
My
was
bad, my bad.
this was my take on it, right? So I agree and I disagree both. I'm like half and half. So
Amy about to come in too, so all right.
okay,
But go ahead.
cool. So I was half and half. So with the new school bathing suits, as we talked a little bit on already, sexuality and stuff is now in 2024. We to me we're going a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like I know there's pride and there's women. When I say pride, I mean like women's pride and women moving forward. Shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? But now it becomes like the body positivity and stuff, which I agree with as well. But I feel like we crash over into a threshold, which Brian had talked about before, where it's like there's no kind of secrecy or privacy. So for me, when I saw your video and I listened to it, in my mind, I was thinking, you know what, it's not that bad. But in my mind, I was thinking of like the older bathing suits, not the one that's like G string, you know what I'm saying? We going out there and they're showing off everything. To me, the regular bathing suits is kind of appropriate. So long as the picture don't look too crazy, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool, you post a picture on the beach, it is what it is. But then when I start adding into like, okay, especially when I start scrolling, you know what I'm saying? I know earlier you asked me like a specific example. I won't call nobody's name, you know what I'm saying? But you asked me a specific example, and I'm looking like, well, that bathing suit look crazy. And then you literally turn it around. Hey, you might as well just bend over at this point, you know what I'm saying? So it gets a little bit crazy
Put it
because
to the side.
yeah, because now it's like, all right, you really are in not only just lingerie, but you're in less than some people lingerie, because some people don't even wear lingerie like that, but then they would wear that to the beach.
Bro.
And I feel like I agree with that in this terms of like, to me, that's a lack of respect. If you're in a relationship, I talking about if you're in a relationship, to me, that's a lack of respect for the person you deal with. If you're not in a relationship, hey, I can't tell you what to do, operate how you operating. But like a woman I seen in a video say, hey, whatever you put out is what you're going to be approached as, you know what I'm saying? And she used the example of if she go on somebody's page and she's seeing all stuff about doctors, people are going to approach him like he's a doctor and look for that kind of information. If you, everything on your page is you half naked, you in bathing suits, you and this and that, how can you really expect people to approach? I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I mean, if we're talking about just approaching somebody, if you see a bum, he's probably a bum. Let's be realistic. Let's call it what it is, you know what I'm saying? But that's my take on it. So I agree. I think the new shit is kind of extreme. And I agree with the comparison between underwear and bathing suit. I don't think it's too far fetched, to be honest. But for me personally, I don't have no problem too much with the older bathing suits. I know you used the example talking with me about like the little mesh thing. You use the little mesh and cover up. I think that's dope, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's more respectable in my personal opinion. And this goes back to what we were saying earlier. We know people are gonna get, just like Twan was, you're gonna get crucified for your opinion just because you have your preference. But me, I do prefer what Twan's saying. If you come with the little mesh thing you cover up. I personally don't have no problem too much with the pictures if it's the older style of bathing suits or like the one piece or whatever, so long as it's not like all up in your ass and you really doing the most to really try to get this kind of attention.
Yeah, this is my take on it, right? And I wanna reword what you said. You said that if you single, right? But it's acceptable if you were single, if that's what you were saying. But
Yeah,
if you in a
you
relationship,
do
it's
what you
not.
want if you're single. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like no, it goes beyond that. That just shows who you are. Like that's really got to be a moral compass to it. You know what I mean? Like a solid foundation for you. If you comfortable with doing that, that's who you are. Whether you in a relationship or out of a relationship, that's who you gonna be. That's who you is. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, it's like, bro, and this how I be looking at it, right? Like ain't nothing wrong with it, but older women, when my mama and them, my grandmama and them, when they went to the pool, bro, they had the full body bathing suit, and even still, they had like something to wrap around them, so you're not really seeing their goods. And then they'll get in the water, and then they'll take it off before they get in the water, type shit. And if they get out the pool, they going straight to that thing and putting it back on. You see what I'm saying? Nowadays, these women is literally walking around the street, ass out, everything out. I have no room for my imagination, bro. I can see everything you got. You're doing that while you single, and then you posting pictures. That's a digital footprint. That's gonna be online forever. Everybody know what my girl body look like, bro. I'm selfish nigga. I don't like that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm insecure. Call me whatever y'all want to call me. When I really care for a female, bro, I don't want to see her doing no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not respectable to yourself, and it's not respectful to me. You see what I'm saying?
You also you've run down on women like that. So what's your take?
But this is what I'm. But I ran down on them with the mindset to fuck them. I ain't run down on them with the mindset of like have my kids. Let's get married. Let's go live in a happily ever after scenario. Hell nah.
So let me
I'm running
ask you.
down on it. I'm trying to fuck you.
So you telling me, and I'm just asking questions here because the people want to know. So you telling me that of all these women that you run down, that's fit that category in your head, none of them had a chance of actually being in a relationship with you?
Man, all right, I'm gonna say this. Right. Yeah, they do. They did. This is why I'm gonna say it though. And respectfully, right? Respect. Bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. You can know a short, you can carry a shorty a certain way, bro. But if you fucking somebody long enough and you creating that soul tie, eventually you're gonna catch feelings for them. You know what I mean? Like I done caught feelings for hoes before that I knew was hoes. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been fucking them and then I like how they treat me. And then it's like we really building you know what I mean? It be like that. So to be honest with you, yeah, but then I will also remember that thought. So it wouldn't be like a good relationship. It would be bad because
so at that point, let's say things is working out, right? I might bother, but man, I ain't want to kid another.
Hey,
I'm sorry, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, this like an interview now, but this is my last question, just so I can understand. So this is my last question. So let's say in the case, right, you run down on one of them, back them cool, you liking the vibe, everything nice. At that point, do you tell her, look, you can't do this anymore, or you just accept it based on the fact that, hey, I know what I'm walking myself into, I happen to fall for her, it is what it is. Like, do you put that restriction on her, or do you accept it?
Nah, so and see that's crazy you asked me that because I thought about that too. Now if I'm running down on her first and foremost, if I'm already saying or doing that, first of all, listen, if we in the environment in the setting, like if we on the beach and shit and I ran down on her and she happened to be in her bathing suit, then okay, is acceptable. You feel me? But now if she posting like thirst trap pictures online and shit like that, then I'm already not even going like want to build nothing with her. I'm gonna let her know that's the reason why we not even gonna go take it to the next step. Like that's just me. But if we in a setting where we want to beach or something and I ran down on her and I caught, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously that's the more appropriate time to wear that type of shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I can see building a relationship with her. Exactly. But if she got pictures on her social media posting thirst traps, and you know how they be, they don't just be taking a picture with the bikini front side. These bitches is damn near doggy style position. They up in that bitch with the slutty, the you know, certain poses, bent over, showing all ass cheeks. You damn near can see they pussy if they bend over far enough. But this is what they doing on there. You feel me? And we know why they doing it. They doing it for attention and they thirst trapping. But if it was we was in the same perfect setting, then nah, I'm not going. Nah, fuck it. You supposed to wear your bathing suit. But I better see you running to that pool and running straight. When you get out the pool, you running straight to your cover up. I better see that. You know what I mean? Like, have some type of consideration for yourself. Like, consideration for people and like about yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it.
And use women,
I could
man.
give my
Use
take
women.
after y'all
We
done
know.
with this.
Wait, real quick to fire. We use women, Twan. We know you don't really necessarily mean it in a derogatory way. But this, we know how the media is. So just say women instead of bitches, please.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, women. They
All
know
right,
they know I'm respectful. They know I love women.
talking shit for all right.
All right. So to the basic question is what's the difference between underwear and a bathing suit? I mean, obviously, I feel like the only difference is the material. One is meant for swimming, one isn't. When you look at them, they look extremely similar. I don't think that any man, and of course, is women. They do what they want. You do what you want. But I don't think that anyone sees that much of a difference in it. But yet, most women at that, would never post any picture in their underwear. But for some reason, I don't know where in their mind they think that it is okay. But when it comes to a bathing suit, they act as though they don't look exactly the same, and sometimes even worse. Sometimes even more revealing. Sometimes even more sexualized, and the type of style, the level of cleavage, the amount of ass out. But yet they would post that thinking that is completely different. Women wouldn't talk on FaceTime in their underwear, many of them, to a male friend, but in the bathing suit, cleavage, out ass, out down, full up on FaceTime, acting like it's not a difference. And I think that's pretty crazy because there is no difference, at least from how they look, how it looks. I mean, you're talking about that one, the onesie. I call it a onesie, but the what you call it, a single body full one piece, I guess it would be
Whatever it
called.
is, yeah.
In a
It,
one-piece bodysuit.
yeah, one
Mhm.
piece
The
bodysuit.
monokini.
That looks different than typical underwear. But what you see nowadays, it really does look like underwear, and I think that it is disrespectful for yourself, especially with how they pose. Like you said, Twan, these ladies ain't. I've seen women pose in bathing suits, and they actually look presentable. It actually looks
Regular.
respectable. They look nice. They
Yeah.
look beautiful, and they just
I
pose.
seen that too.
They just post normal. I know girls. I know women that when a camera comes out, even if they're in some type of revealing bathing suit, they'll be like, no, like they would move from the camera because they don't want any pictures of themselves. I know women in these types of revealing clothes that they might take like a video or picture from the front, but they never show the ass. If they do turn around, they would make sure they cover up so that you're not seeing the ass cheeks. I've seen things like this because there are women out there that are mindful of these things and do have these morals because they do understand that a bathing suit is also just as sexual as underwear, and it does show a lot. So they keep those morals. So I do agree that it comes to a point where it's a question of morality and their morals, because a lot of women won't do that because they were raised in a house of respect and things like that. And I think that the people that do and are comfortable with posting like that, not necessarily that they wasn't raised like that, but they somewhere down the line they did lose a portion of their moral compass, whether it's chasing that woman power, your body, my choice. But yeah, overall, most people, especially men, don't see that from a respectable standpoint.
I just want to say this real quick. You see what you just said there? Bro, they only chase that, bro, when it benefits them, bro. It goes back to the whole thing. They only chase it when it benefits them, bro. Like I can't explain it enough. Like women and body empowerment. That's full of shit. You had a fat girl on a podcast one day claiming she was a motherfucking 10. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about, the one with
Okay, Swan, you
the
can't be
knee
talking like that. Now I'm a female on here. Now you being
Talking
rude
shit,
towards
Indy,
the
talking
girl.
Get
shit.
it. Get
with the knee on her neck.
talk your shit, Indy. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
just
because
playing
now
now,
you
but you
being
know,
rude. You
all right,
can't. It
I'm
doesn't
done.
matter
Now I'm
if
being rude.
she's not your cup of tea or not. If she has confidence, let her have confidence. What's wrong with her being a big girl?
Confidence and delusion is two different
No,
things,
it's
though.
not. It's not.
We
If
gonna
she's
be.
confident, she's confident.
That's
You could be
fair.
confident, but you could be delusional too. You got to
True.
see the
But as
girl.
soon as you start talking about her, you had
But I
to
know, I get it,
mention, you
We
had to
off
do like
topic.
the
We off
neck
topic.
thing, like how she big. You ain't have to do all that. All you have to say is she
I'm
was
sorry.
just
Yeah, yeah.
a heavy set lady. It's like you pressing it for what?
Nah, cause she was big. She was ugly as shit. I'm gonna be
You
honest. She
can't
was
do
big
that
and
though,
ugly as
because then
shit.
you already got females on you about the whole opinion thing. Now you about to have females on you because you over here talking about women if they not to your liking.
Nah, I mean she wasn't to nobody liking, but I get what you're saying though. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. I get it. I'm respectful. I love big girls. Big girls love me. But what I'm saying is she wasn't even a big girl that. No, that wasn't the type of big girl that should have been doing all that. Talk about them a 10. Now you delusional. But body positive empowerment is a tool that they use when is a bullshit ass tool. It's a tool that women use and like to run to when they want something to fit their best interest at heart or benefit them, if that makes sense. So that's basically what I was trying to explain. My fault, you is on here, but we do would like to hear your take on the bathing suit and bra, since you are a woman and men were speaking on it for the last 10 to 15 minutes or so.
Now let's do both, because even as how you just shared your
Said,
opinion about how you feel about Shorty. Like we just stated in the beginning of the pod, they have women who to go out here and land blast men and talk about the size and all these things. And you see how you check Twan?
You see that?
Nobody checking these women like you see, we just seen it. Nobody's checking the women when they do this to men. We only getting checked, and that's not me agreeing or disagreeing with the situation. This is just me saying, calling it what it is. How you
Mhm.
check Twan? Nobody is checking women when they do these same kind, at least on a grand scale when they do these kind of things to men. But what's your
And if
take on the?
oh,
Go ahead,
I
Fire.
could let me just add to that, and I was gonna say, and if they do check a woman that is talking shit like that, like how Twan was going off, uh, that
Hey, I
man
don't
is
give a fuck.
usually
Y'all look-
also crucified. Like, stop being soft, stop being a bitch. Why you taking it so serious? It's just a joke. They usually still take the woman's side when she's talking shit like that about men. But like what just happened here, we have one woman here, and she already was up to defend the fellow woman, which you should,
Yeah,
by
that's
all
what I mean. I
means.
This,
commend
this,
it.
But we
this,
also stood by and saw that as and respected that. When it's the other way around, you don't really see that.
you know
That's
what?
because
And it,
men need to learn how to stick together. I'm a girl's girl, so therefore, I'm going to stick up for a woman, especially if she's not on here. She's been body shamed, in my opinion, whether if he meant it like that or not. Men, y'all like to brush things off. It's not that serious. I'll let it go. She talking crazy, whatever.
It's true.
Y'all got to
It's
stand
true.
up for y'all own selves. Y'all got to do that. And if your homeboy is in the midst of something and a female is talking shit about him, it don't matter if she a female or not. As long as you're not being physical, tell her, shut her ass up. What the fuck are you talking like that for? Simple. Some people say I'm aggressive, and I don't care. I say what comes to mind. If I got a homeboy and I'm with my homeboy and somebody disrespecting him, what you talking to him like that for? What you doing that for? You doing too much. Relax. It's not that serious. I don't
Yeah,
mind defending my people, even if you ain't my people. If I hear something disrespectful, there's no need to be disrespectful.
that's real. That's real. What's your take on
that's the,
the bathing suit situation as a woman? I'm sure you go to the beach and whatever. What's your take? You can say a personal take, and you can say a take if you feel like you need to speak on behalf
What
of the
about the
bathing.
bathing suit?
Yeah, the bathing suit situation.
Um,
The difference
I feel the
between
same way how you
yeah,
guys feel. There is
okay.
no difference when it comes down to a bathing suit or lingerie. For one, they're both meant for the same thing. One is just meant to be worn outside at a beach or a pool, and the other is to be worn at home. Like I was telling Twan yesterday, I have a lingerie line, so sometimes I do promote my lingerie, but it's never nothing sexual. You're never going to see from the back. You're going to see from the front me promoting what I am selling. Simple as that. And if I didn't have a lingerie line, I would not be promoting anything like that, for one. But like you guys were saying, it goes based off like poses too. A lot of people do things for a reaction. They know they look good and they want men to say that. But you guys also have to realize that just because, say for example, our parents might have been raised a certain way to where they cover themselves and they know to cover themselves, everybody else wasn't raised that way. Everybody else doesn't have that type of they didn't grow up with that type of respect in their household. So you can't expect for the next woman to know how to cover herself or be respectful towards herself if she didn't grow up that way or if she wasn't taught that. So if she's a hoe, she's just a hoe. She don't know any better. You can't blame her. A hoe is going to be a hoe. But for example, y'all wouldn't even know I have on a bathing suit. Why? Because I'm the only woman on here, and we is nothing but men on here, so I'm gonna cover myself up. You know, it's boundaries to it. When you got respect for yourself, when you look at yourself in a certain type of light, then you're not gonna portray yourself as if a hoe, like you guys were saying. The way how you dress is the way how you get approached. If you look like a hoe, you getting approached like a hoe. Simple.
I
my
feel it. I
favorite
feel it.
line is, "I ain't gonna cuff you, but I'll fuck you."
Brian talking shit, and then I have something I want to
I'm done.
say in
I'm
my
done.
You're
notes that I
sick.
want to stick into. Go ahead, Brian.
No,
My bad. I feel like I'm the only nigga be cussing on it.
Nah, you could cuss. You could cuss.
I
It's
think
just
I kill that one dead man. Like it's really no different. Same thing Indy say. I mean, like both of them is. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you do your history, I'm pretty sure a man was behind a bathing suit. He wanted to see a woman, and he just got certain women to promote it. Like, check. It was all a slick move. I mean, because nowadays, especially with the new bathing suits, they're actually more revealing than bras and panties that you wear on a day-to-day basis. You know, it's everything's driven by sex. You know, it's everything over sexualized. It's just meant to draw a reaction. Even if you have on something modest, you're still out there with no clothes, so you're gonna draw some kind of attention, even if you think you're sneaking in and out the pool, in and out the water, somebody looking, somebody grabbing a look. Some people take it further by posting, like, Tuan said, cock up and bend over. We know what they're getting at, what attention they're trying to draw. Those people typically have the cash app in their bio, so you know you're getting into in that sense, So I mean, it's not like they're hiding it, that they're lying, they're telling a different story. Like, if you see it, you typically know what it is. Like, it's like ain't no mystery. Like, you don't have to guess it. Is it a hole? So yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, shift.
Yes, I mean, like, yes, I ain't have nothing against the bathing suit. You have your 2-piece, this and that, but I mean, like, it's just how you carry yourself. Like, you go be on the beach, just
So-
carrying along, just having a good time. But like, it have it those that you're just going from modest to a little sexy to then when you just have that little string up between where God split you, and you expecting people to be like, oh, this is acceptable. You walking down the street, you ain't even nowhere near water, and thinking that's cool. Well, shit.
I never hear that one before.
Hey, so I had another thing yesterday that they were saying basically in Europe, I believe, one of those countries where they got a topless or nude beach.
Go to
They try to
Europe.
bring that.
Go
That's
to
what I'm
Europe.
saying. I'm saying we're not in Europe,
Go
And
to
then they
Europe.
was basically saying that pretty much men trying to sexualize everything, but then it'd be the same women in there when they posting their bikini, they be like, don't mind the stretch marks. Low
So hold
key,
on.
the stretch marks right by the ass, so they really want you to look at the ass.
So hold on.
Like,
This thought of men sexualize everything. Top. I don't want to fucking hear it. I cannot scroll on any social media. I can't even watch a gym video without. It's to the point we see some of them cooking videos. Listen, the cooking video start off with a woman showing her ass. I'm like, bro, is this about the food or what is it?
I don't
About them
see
cakes.
those.
So
That's
I
what I
don't,
tell you.
I don't like
Sex
that.
sells.
I would never get behind that men. I think at one point it might have been like that. No, I think we have gotten to the point where it's just society and women driving it. As a matter of fact,
No,
go ahead, Brian, go ahead.
No. I want to see where you're going, Sec, before I comment. My bad.
So I want to talk about even when we look into different things, because we just talking about bathing suits. Now you have the gym wear. We have the gym wear that is made specifically to make your ass look different. You get push-up bra to make your titty them look bigger. Every woman wants a BBL now. We had the BBL argument so much. I had it even on Facebook the other day where they were saying men prefer this. All the men in the comments saying whatever they want to say, and I'm not going off right now, but women still refuse to believe it. And then they're going to say that we is the one pushing for these things. I disagree. I do not. I think it was like that at one point. No, I think it's gotten so far that is getting kind of ridiculous. I think more so men still want their women to be somewhat private. Of course, we're going to look and sway and look at these kind of women because naturally we want to have sex with these women. You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about conducting relationships and stuff with these women, I'm pretty sure a man would prefer his woman more secluded. He don't want shorty that's cutting up in the club all the time. He don't want shorty that gotta go to the gym in the shortest fucking shots. Like, for what? And then, like I said, like Twan said earlier, they tried to make excuses for it. I'm not buying the excuses. Attention is one hell of a fucking drug right now. It's a hell of a drug.
I also want to throw this out there. I'm sorry. Oh my, go, Brian. You was waiting. I just wanted to say this, bro. This the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just go when I'm told to. But they want to use that. They want to use that. You being controlling. Like that argument of you being controlling, and it's like how I'm being controlling by setting my boundaries. And then look, I look at it like this: is like you right. In a certain type of way, I am controlling. I want to control what's around me, what's in my environment. So if I'm not picking you based off of what you posted on your social media, it's because I'm trying to control what the fuck you know what I mean. What's for me? You know what I'm saying? Or like what I like.
You can't do that though. If the girl is easy enough to fuck, she's gonna fuck. You can't control what she does.
No, I'm not. That's what I just said.
You got to work on your self-esteem because that's what it sounds like.
No, that's what I just said. I said I'm expected to control a certain area in my life. Like if I see a shorty doing whole shit, I can control it and be like, no, I'm not gonna deal with you. I can control that situation enough to say, no, I'm gonna leave you alone because I don't like what you're doing. I'm controlling my environment, my space.
I get what Twan's saying. I think people throw out these terms loosely. So because Twan, and it goes back to the same double standard thing, because Twan throws out his preferences, automatically people gonna come and see you controlling. It don't matter if you actually sat there in a relationship and told somebody they couldn't do this. Because if you hear his example, he's just not going for you. He's not telling you can't do it anymore. He's just not going for you. But because they disagree with his opinion, automatically he is painted as you are controlling, you need to heal, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. The whole time, he's just letting you know that this is his boundary and he's not going for you if you're in this. If that's you, you ain't coming together. But like I said, they like to throw out these terms and throw out that you're this and throw out that you're that because automatically they pop this defense mechanism because they know that for one, they feel a way about it because they fit into that narrative and they feel a way that, and I saying they talking about women, not our women. I'm talking about the women who feel this way sometimes. And they know that, especially if it's coming from a man who they would like and they could see themselves with, of course they're going to feel defensive because they feel like you dissing them. The whole time you're not necessarily dissing them. You are just establishing your boundaries.
Web, I would like to add to that real quick. My bad, last thing. I'm giving you a blueprint to how to be attractive to me. I'm telling you everything that I do and don't like to be attractive to me. I mean, so I could be attracted towards you. You're gonna argue with that? You know what I would do if a female that I like would lay out what her boundaries and shit is? I will work to be that. If a female tell me she don't like a nigga that's for the streets, I'm gonna work for not being for the fucking streets. If a female say she like a nigga that can plumb, I'm gonna learn how to become a fucking plumber. I need a nigga that know how to fix cars. I'm gonna learn how to fix a fucking car. What the fuck is an alternator? I don't know, but I'm gonna fix it.
That's different though. Like those are like necessity things. But when when you have to coach a woman how to be a woman and a lady, you can't do that. It's like you can't coach a man to be a man. It's either in you or it's on you. You either got it or you don't got it. You can't coach a grown person to be a lady. You can't do that. You can't coach a grown man to be a man.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. I was gonna say the same thing. Go ahead, Brian. We don't cut you off a couple of times.
Yeah, sorry, Brian.
I gonna start with indie and then go back to what you were talking about, web. So I don't necessarily agree. Maybe you need to elaborate a little bit more, indie, but some people need guidance. So I mean, I ain't saying you can't change somebody's core, but I mean, like, if you grow up rough, that don't mean you could stay rough. I mean, that's just like a mentor. Like when you're in a relationship, it's supposed to have some kind of growth. So it's not necessarily like you're coaching a person, you're forcing that person. If you and that person vibes and they are dealing, you're supposed to have like wiggle room for growth, like change. That's just basic change. So if you're telling me, if me and you dealing and use a certain way, and then you starting to grow to like me, and then you teaching me your preferences and teaching my preferences, if you're not willing to change, then that's different. But like, usually when you're in a relationship, if you stay the same, that's not a relationship because it has no growth. You check nobody want a tree that stays stunt. So you saying you can help that person become a better person or a better version by, like, okay, I mean, like, something, I mean, it's been done. I mean, how much holes they man chance now? You could change. You check, it's just take the right man or the right woman to help you, and it's not something you do by force, it's something you have to do by will. So you can't get on the same boat with you saying like, yeah, I mean, it have hoes that become housewives and have bums that become husbands. We don't see it. So I mean, it's proof not putting. I mean, I can't get on the same boat with you on that. Can't quote somebody. Hell yeah, they've been doing it for years. So that's my take on that. I definitely want you to hit back. Give me your comments.
All right, Brian. I thought we was on the same team, but now I gotta disagree with you real fast because I never said that nobody can't be coached. What I'm saying is, and maybe I said it wrong. People can't.
That's what I said. I wanted you to elaborate
someone in the right direction, correct? But when it gets to the point to where you gotta show a lady how to be a lady, and I mean by just going based off of what we're talking about with the bathing suits and stuff. If you have to tell your woman all the time, Don't do sexual poses like this. That makes me feel some type of way. That's not respecting you or our relationship or what we have going on. When you have to continue to tell a woman to stop doing hoe stuff, it's only so much you can tell someone, because if someone keep on doing it over and over, that's who they are. They don't need guidance. That's who they are. And that's what they want to do.
No, I agree 100%. But you see what you're saying there? You put it. You give me more context. You're saying it over and over. If you're saying something, I say like 3-4 times, and we're saying we're in a relationship or we get into that stage, and you're not willing to change, we're not gonna talk anymore. Like just like 20 seconds, you gone. Like so, it's like if you are stagnant and change, like I gotta be bringing this up. Like, hey, don't be doing that. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing that. Obviously, you're not willing to change, because some people ain't get raised up; they get dragged up. Like you mentioned earlier. If your mother was a hoe, you probably grew up doing whole things too, because you saw your mom doing it, so you emulated your mom. And I ain't saying that that's right or that's wrong, but like if now you dating a gentleman like Twan, he telling you like, yo, shorty, that's not something that I could get behind, and you're naturally defensive, of course, because you've been doing this for 20 odd years, does change. But if you really vibe with him and you following his path, you're gonna want to change. And if you put back that force of not wanting to change, then you could leave. Like there's no reason for me or you to waste our time anymore. So I agree with that. So that's my take on that.
I just want to say that before I just want to say this real quick. And Andy, you don't be listening to me. You're not listening. You're not listening to me. You gotta feel me.
I think it's just your delivery.
It's just my delivery. I know I gotta work on that. I'm working on articulate myself. But did you see how Webb be catching it for me? Appreciate you, Webb. Appreciate you too, Brian. Appreciate you too, for Ferrari.
Okay,
Ferrari,
it's 4 against 1. Okay, that's cool.
All right.
It's 4 against 1. That's cool.
But now I'm not. Nobody's against nobody on here. It's just I just want you to understand. Like I kind of do got a rough delivery, but my intentions is pure. It's genuine. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to feel offended. I don't want to hurt nobody and nothing like that. But this world, I just be trying to be as blunt as I can and sensitive as I can to a certain degree. I'm not never a sensitive nigga, so I don't know how to be sensitive, but I try. So I apologize. But go ahead.
Yeah, Brian.
No, I think Fire wanted to say something before I went back to you.
No. I was just passing it back to you because people was talking. I know you had a second point to go back to.
What you was talking about earlier too, Webb, like it has man have a tricky part to play in, the how women over sexualize themselves. If you really think about it, go back to like back in the days when it comes to like advertising. Like I was saying earlier, like sex to sell. So like even like when we watch an old like commercial for shampoo, is a woman caressing her neck and this and that. And if you really think about it, she ain't got ounce of shampoo in her hair, Or like when they used to sell cigarettes, when they wanted to market to women, they're like only women with red lipstick, a beautiful woman smokes a cigarette.
Facts.
And then
wait, no, that's not.
When
facts.
they start to pull away. That's not when they start to pull away. Corporations invented the word feminism and let women run with it, because all they're doing is for them to harm themselves to do the things that we want them to do anyways. So it's like I tell you, like this is what you're doing, then don't do this, and then they give you this word feminism, fight for it. So now I don't even have to market you to sexualize yourself. You're gonna do it because you want to, because like it gives you like empowerment. Like, yeah, we took back ourselves. But you're doing everything that men used to tell you need to do. Now you're just doing it for you, but you're still not doing it for you because you're still looking for the attention from the man.
I agree.
So it comes off weird.
A vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Brainwashing, really.
Rebellious. They're rebellious at nature.
Just to clarify my take, I agree with that. Just to clarify what I was trying to say in my take, we definitely started it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely started it. But I feel like women are now finishing it. Especially when we talk about
running.
Yeah, and so when we start talking, well, we're not going to start talking about it in the pod, but just to like give the idea of what I'm trying to say. Especially when we start talking about actually using our bodies to make money, OnlyFans and all these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, man, we playing our part too. We subscribing. We in the strip club. we hitting the likes, we thirst strapping, like we were talking about earlier. Some man sending these random women they don't know from anywhere money. Like, so we have
Yeah,
our
they
part to
tricky.
play as well. But it's not what I was trying to say that is not now in 2024 is not just us doing the sexualization. Women is doing this as well, purposely to themselves because attention is one hell of a drug and money is one hell of a tool as well. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll add to that. Like, there's a space for whole like behavior. There's a space for that type of shit in this world that will forever be accepted. The issue is the percentage, especially in America, in the our culture now, is the percentage that's the problem. It seems to be increasing by the years with more women that are on this whole like time, this city girl time, this non-respect for themselves time. Because it's fine that space will forever be accepted. It's just now reaching to a point where it seems like 7 out of 10 women that you meet is on this type of time, and I think that's where we're starting to see the issues, because it always existed. But now it's kind of running rampant.
Facts. I agree.
Bro, they
Anybody
doing
else?
it in front of the kids. It's in front of the kids now, bro. They at the beaches. Kids is out there, thongs in their
Hey,
ass.
they get the tongues in their ass at Wet and Wild and shit. Like, come on, dog.
Oh my God. In front of the babies, not the
Come
babies. They
on,
don't need.
man.
My daughter don't need to see this. My son don't need to see this.
Come on, facts. But anybody else anything to share? Otherwise, I'll pivot into one more topic that kind of goes what we were talking about. At least I point that in there. Indie, my bad. Indie
Oh
brother.
no, I don't have nothing
No
else to
tricky.
say. I'm listening to y'all.
All right, so I
pivot.
want to double back when you and Brian had that exchange about coaching women. One of the things I don't know where I saw it, but I was thinking about it. I saw a video and it led me to think about it, and it goes back to giving each other grace, and goes for both men and women, because in those situations you have to recognize in your head that you do have people who have grown up a different way and grew up certain ways, and sometimes though they have qualities that you do not necessarily care for, they have a lot of qualities that you do care for and that you can work with. And I feel like we're so quick to judge and not we don't show enough grace in terms of helping that person get out of some of the bad traits you think is bad, or maybe they even think it's bad as well, but they're so used to doing those things, they're so used to those characteristics that it's hard for them to kind of get out of that mode. So sometimes we need to be able to come together as man and woman when you come in these relationships and friendships and show each other that grace and give each other that room to change, because sometimes you get in a relationship and you have an agreement where it's like, okay, I don't like this about you. And I feel like our relationships take some kind of sacrifices on both ends. I don't think there's too much relationships where you kind of come together and everything is just perfect out the gate. I think you take a sum of all the goods and the bads and you decide, hey, we have 10 goods and 3 bads. That's enough for me to say, you know what, let's try to work a thing and let's try to make this together. But what I find is in this microwave culture is we so quick to like give up on that person for those 3 things, when in turn you're not thinking about the fact that these 3 things took them 24, 25, 26 years of doing those 3 things the wrong way you want it. So yes, they agreed with you that they're going to change it, but you can't expect a change sometimes in a month, overnight. Sometimes it might even take a little bit more than a year. So I feel like we need to start to show each other more grace and show each other more patience in the process of being able to grow as a couple, grow as a friendship, whatever the case may be, so that these people could actually have the time and create the new habits to then get to this person where you could kind of work together, or for them to get to the person that they want to be as well. We got to give each other more time and we got to show each other much more grace. That's just my take, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I agree with that. Even in situations where if she wears whatever she wants to wear and she don't want to hear your opinion on whether you like it or not. Like, just imagine she grew up with a single mother who was dressing and acting this way and coaching, telling her, letting her know, don't ever let a man tell you what to wear. Don't ever do this. Don't ever do that. Do it for you. I mean, that could be a little hard to unlearn, especially after a guy just in your first setting trying to go out with the girls, just telling you that it's understandable why she would be defensive, because that is what she has been programmed to think just growing up. And sure, it's your preference. You could just cancel it, cut all ties, but maybe she just had no idea that this was that big of an issue. And right now, from her perspective, she's only seeing you as controlling rather than actually seeing the issues with carrying herself that way, especially while in a relationship. So I do agree that you should give grace. Of course, it comes with proper communication to try to really get these points across, because a lot of people may think something is controlling when it's really not. It's really just a basic topic of respect and just preference. So yeah.
I agree. I agree to a certain extent, though.
Mhm.
It boils back down to again how many times you gotta tell them, you know. And I'm guilty of it. If I see a female doing some shit I don't like, I'll try to have conversations about it. But then I'll dip if she ain't getting with the program. If that makes
And
sense.
that's why I say it depends on how many goods you have, because who are we to like are we creating realistic timelines for them to be able to change these habits? And that's
Right?
my
Yeah.
main point. Like, are we creating realistic timelines for these people to be able to change their habits? Because we're talking about, we know how long it takes to take out habits. People are starting habits and trying to do new things, and it's taking them a year, 6 months. It depends on the severity of whatever it is, at least. Because some things are kind of
Right,
simple.
definitely,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But at the same time, even that should be a conversation. Like, look, let's set a timetable and set like measurable things. Okay, hey babe, hey whatever, hey dog, or whatever the case may be. I think should be done between friendships, just not relationships. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. I don't really appreciate this. You and my dog, for real. I love you, babe, but I don't really appreciate these things. First of all, if there's something you're willing to work on for me, all right. She decided, yeah, or your friend decided, yeah, okay, cool. Then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help keep you accountable. I'm going to give you enough grace because I understand that you've been this way for your 19 years of your life. So I cannot expect you to be 3 months and you don't eradicate this thing that you had for years. So let's say this: every time you do it, I'm going to correct you. I would like you to I just apologize and try to work on it next time, and then just be more cognizant and intentional about about making this change. And then over time, we'll get to say, let's try this for whatever point in time, and then we reevaluate where we are then. I'm a big proponent now. I say proponent. I'd be using that word wrong, you know. I'm a big advocate now for I saw this couple, I forget who the name was, but they had a thing where they do quarterly check-ins, where they check in on their relationship and check in on their friendships and stuff. And I think that's an appropriate space to be able to check in on those things. Now, if we go 2 quarters now and we're dealing with the same bullshit, then yeah, it makes sense to leave. But I feel like we just don't give each other enough grace, man. I feel like we just out there just, hey, fuck it. I always get better fish in the sea, which is true. But sometimes the fish that may not fucking good. I've been fishing
Yeah,
before.
facts. You get you get a smaller fish. I ain't gonna lie, I'm guilty of that. I've been doing a lot of self reflection lately and stuff like that, and I realize my patience for people is real low. You know, so you know it's a good thing you touched up on this because that's definitely an issue for me. So I'm one of those ones you consider a microwavable relationship because you know she's too aggressive or she's too argumentative and
I'm out of there.
you know not trying and she don't understand me. I'm out of there because
I would
I agree. I just feel like I can get anything I want when I want it type shit. So that's another little thing I got to work on.
I will
But
say this though. Be patient with the people who deserve patience. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah,
Because not even though we be patient, some people could take advantage of that. So not everybody necessarily deserve the patience and the grace. So you have to be, like you just shared, self-aware enough and digest this person and have these conversations to be able to dissect, like, hey, you know what? Though I feel this way, this person has enough going on and I really like them. I think I will give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's, to me, that's how you kind of protect yourself and be willing to accept whatever comes from that decision. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you're gonna give the patience and you might waste a couple months of your time. Hey, just be confident in the fact that, hey, I showed some grace, I showed strength, I showed patience. It was a good fucking practice because over time it's gonna help you. And just be happy in that fact, man, because not everything is going to work out, even if you do everything right. You know what I'm saying? You do the quad check-ins, you do the self-awareness, you go to church together, you do whatever the hell it take, counseling together. It might not work out, you know what I'm saying? But just don't let that be the downer to
Yeah,
make you not want to fuck with people and fuck
that's
niggas and fuck bitches and be a lot of people, good people out here who's willing to make these sacrifices for you.
that's the hard part right there, boy.
Facts.
You put so much time and energy behind something and then it don't work out, boy, you be crushed.
Yeah,
I
facts.
don't know, I be crushed. I'm talking about listening to love songs, nigga. Thinking about, man, I be going crazy, going through it. Like what? Like, bitch, I gave you my all. Password to my phone. Like, oh my God, I love you. But
Hey,
I get it.
you gotta find that confidence and hey, I gave my all and go out and just give your all the time. And
It,
that's one thing
you,
I've learned as well. And I started practicing. Like I just try to do really goodly. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever I'm really proponent of put in what you expect to get back. I'm not necessarily one that reciprocate. I don't like reciprocating energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just give out good energy. To me, if you start reciprocating energy, you just on that type of bad time. Like a good nigga is not gonna do bad shit because somebody else doing bad shit. That means you're not that good
yeah,
of a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe in just going out there and putting your best effort and giving people your best. You know what I'm saying? If my friend fucked me over, that don't mean I'm gonna start treating everybody different because of this one experience. That to me that's nonsensical because it's more likely somebody else going to do you something.
type
And
shit.
you know what I'm saying? So you might as well just go out there and just have a good heart and live righteous, man, and do what you can and do right by people and do right by yourself. And
Y'all, I
God,
think
yeah,
Brian been
amen.
waiting to talk for like 10 minutes now.
Oh
Go ahead,
shit.
Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, bro.
Damn. Oh, my bad.
I really
How you doing,
was
Brian?
listening on this one, and I was really in the zone, man.
Fuck, man.
I
I
really,
forgot Brad, man. That's
Yeah,
my Brad. You know how to get my soapbox.
yeah, but you were hitting the point, so I was just in the zone. I had my mic off, and I was like, yeah, these one hitting some points now, man.
yeah,
But
nah.
nah, you guys are good. You guys are good. But
Yeah. Deshaun, he be here slick talking motherfucker. But yeah,
yeah,
I be he know how to put them words together, man. I need to work with mine.
he don't piece together all the different bits and pieces, you know.
Yeah.
And like
I
I
learned,
watching the
man.
mosaic come together, like you know. He had me from the time he called him what you said the microwave culture. I was like beep, everybody like that easy going
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Hey,
So
I just learned
That's
them,
I
man.
low key
definitely, I
me, low
definitely agree
key.
with you on that. I mean, like you know from the previous conversation we have on the side too. Like I'm a big advocate for giving grace. You know what I'm saying? Like people in our culture now, we want everything too easy, too fast. We quick to give up. We don't put in work for shit. Like even to
Mm-hmm.
say like one of the biggest faults a lot of us, especially men, I say women too, but I will speak more for men. Like the patience, like we have thin patience. It's like if something ain't working, I was like, on to the next one. Like I know myself, I know my status. I could get somebody else. Even though this person you might be passing up, you know, you think you train your line back in and you're getting a bigger fish. You gotta realize, you know, as an island man, not all fish sweet. So you could pull out a big fish and it could
Facts.
also be a rotten one. So sometimes that little goldfish that you get playing that tug and wire, you might as well, you know, be patient, flourishing and slow because
Nurture it.
you know, whatever you may catch the next time, you may think it's something better, but it could really be trash. So the patience is something we as a generation should really try to work on because I mean, like when you're digging for something, while it gonna take some time, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So
Right,
you
exactly.
gotta put in that energy and that effort. And I ain't saying you go stick around and take the disrespect. I mean, like certain things when you know yourself and like you know you have those core values. If that person is like etching on those and they're not willing to change those, I'm not saying you should stick around and waste your time. But like for little
I
things
agree.
like, you know, I don't like this shirt or you take too long to do the laundry or you curse a little bit too much. There's things you gotta work on because like you said, like you know, Indy mentioned earlier, like how you grow up, like if I've been doing something for 20 odd years and it seems regular to me, simple to me, but it's a big thing to you, like we don't have to talk on it, you know, active communication, like Fiery mentioned, like, you know, tell me why. That's another thing too, you know, like sometimes you tell somebody, like, I don't want you to do this, but you don't even have the patience to sit down or the communication skills to bring it up to, like, to explain why you would like them to change and how they can change and present them with a solution or a alternate route. You know, like you just said, like, I don't want you to do this, and you just leave it high and dry. Like, you can't expect that. Like, if you offering guidance, offering solutions, providing the path, you know, you can't expect something, you know what I mean? And then how you mentioned too, where but giving energy and taking energy, like, exactly, you want something to change, you want to be the light in somebody's life, and if they come in a little dark, you can't be dark too, because then both are in a dark room and I look like ass, you know what I'm saying? So you want somebody to be bright, when they go dark, you gotta brighten it up, so some of that energy that you have go, you know, rub off on them. So, and again, I like to play both sides. Depending on where they bouncing and you're more a compass, like you're doing some real off shit, I gonna, you know, push you off the edge because I trying to nudge you up my life, because certain things, I guess, again, go back to what Kefren meant. You gotta know yourself. You have to be high emotional intelligence. You gotta know what lines and what borders you don't want people to cross. And that goes back to what Fire mentioned again. How well you communicating with your partner really bodes everything. But
And yourself.
yeah, me gonna keep chatting. I'll
Man,
piece
and
up on that.
I'll double down, triple down, quadruple down, whatever it is now, and that patience talk as well. So I've been with my girlfriend, now wife, for 10 years, going on 10 years this year. We've been married for 4. And shit, that definitely took some patience and communication, because in the beginning, she used to do a lot of shit I didn't like. I mean, sometimes she would be disrespectful. She used to do this thing where she would tell me shut the fuck up after a certain time, up for certain things, and like, I have to tell her. I mean, every time she would say that, it would be like just a pause, and like, who the fuck are you talking to? It just to stop all things, because I guess she thought that was fine in the past, and guess what? Today, for the past 7-8 years now, I've never heard those words again. So it does take patience, it does take communication, but it definitely wasn't just one time she said that shit early on. And simple things like that, people will be so quick to move on and be like, ah, damn, she don't know how to respect me. I don't want to be part of this shit no more. I'm gonna move on. But nah, I understood that she came from a place thinking this was cool to talk to people like this, and I just had to set the record straight. Like, no, that shit ain't cool, and I ain't gonna take that. I mean, you're gonna respect me, and we're gonna make sure that we understand this. Yeah. What's up, Ray?
Hey, listen,
You know,
I checking my
I
phone.
gotta look out, you know. I gotta look out for, you know, the people. I thought I leave that window open for Indy, you know, because she's a female and on the paddleboard. I gotta look out. I mean, I understand that, you know, much be praises for the patience, because I know that one for me is a dark one. Like, I gotta probably meet that with negativity as well. Like, I can't imagine us being in a conversation like, shut the fuck up. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it was never a calm convo after that happened.
When you give an example of, you know, something your partner did that you had to work on, I would also, you know, like you to put something that you had to work on as well, you know, just for the ladies who probably gonna listen. They don't feel like, you know, we just going, but you also have to put something in the cash that you had to work on that she didn't like as well.
Something that I
Exactly. That
had to
goes back
work
to
on that she didn't like. I could have been a little too friendly with women back in those times. I mean, even sometimes she'd have to pull me up on that, even to this day, when I'm not being wary of it, you know. So that's something I've had to work on for sure and be more mindful of. Even if I didn't think that it was flirting or anything like that, I just how I carry myself, all the smiles, any compliments, just being too friendly. Certain things could come off a certain way. It's even to the lady you're speaking to. So that's something I had to change and be more mindful of.
We gonna run the room.
yeah, sex, self reflection is a
Well,
motherfucker, ain't it?
we go around the room. Everybody gonna share something they have to work on.
Yeah, let's do
Oh
that.
my god,
Everybody,
no,
let's
I
do
got
that.
I got a lot to work on.
Talk to us, Indy.
But
What's
Yeah, I
up?
gotta stop being so aggressive at times. Even though I'm a good
yes, you
person,
do.
I think I'm just a naturally, since I'm so blunt, I just talk aggressively, but I don't be like meaning no harm. And back what he was saying as far as like the self-reflection thing. Sometimes when you're not used to dealing with real men, you catch yourself like you will catch yourself like, all right, I can't handle him like this. I can't talk to him like this. He's too much of a good person. Like there's no need for me to talk like that. But when you used to talking like that all of your life, then you don't see a problem with it. But I know that I got to work on the way how I be talking sometimes. I'm not disrespectful to where I'm going to curse you out, but sometimes the delivery, it just be like, oh, why you got to say it like that? But I don't be trying to. It come from a good place. Like, I'm a very genuine, good person, but at the same time, sometimes I do say things and it's just like, all right, you could have said that a little bit better. But I'm quick to apologize and fix it and work on it and stuff. I don't have no problem with that.
I want
You just took the words out of my mouth. She remind me of me.
before y'all go real quick, I'll talk on that and what I learned. I didn't have that problem, but one thing I learned in sales. So sales is all about talking and talking and talking. Sometimes you gotta be able to talk to people in the way they need to be talked to, and not the way you think they
Mm-hmm.
need to be talked to. You know what I'm saying? In the way that they are telling you they need to be talked to. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, when you communicate, and communicating is not about you just getting your point across. Communication is about the person being able to receive your message and you guys having an understanding. So if you're not communicating in a way that person could receive it, then who's really the bad communicator? You see what I'm saying? And sometimes even myself at times, we get in situations where we accuse the other person of being a bad communicator, and sometimes these people are really telling you exactly how to speak to them, and you just refusing to do that because you feel you want to get it off the way you want to get it off. And I've been a victim of that. I used to be one that always said like, "Yo, what? So why
Sometimes
are you
you
laughing
gotta
at
be a
that?"
little rough with men though. Just like how he was saying he don't be
Facts.
noticing in a relationship how he be being friendly and stuff. How you don't know that? What is you smiling at this lady for? Like what is you giving her all this for?
Mm-hmm.
What you
And,
doing that for?
and
Sometimes you do
Facts.
have to. I'm not saying you gotta disrespect them, call them out their name, but sometimes y'all are blind to women flirting. Some women will call you friend, brother, homie, all that type of stuff, and secretly deep down inside know that you got a woman or know that you're dealing with someone that still want to have sex with you. So sometimes you do gotta be. I'm not saying like I said. Don't disrespect them. Don't call them out their name. But sometimes we do have to be a little bit aggressive with y'all. Like, hello, how aren't you
Facts.
seeing that this woman is flirting with you? How aren't you seeing that you've been a little bit too friendly? Sometimes saying it nice, like, hey, did you notice that? No,
Yeah,
she
that's
ain't
hard.
talking like that. Did it happen again? Did you notice that? Now I gotta speak up and be a little bit more aggressive because obviously you're not seeing what I'm seeing. That's what I be
India,
with it.
I would say yeah, you got to work on that though. Like even though you may know he like it boils back down to what he just said. You might not by you doing that is not communicating to him the proper way. You know what I'm saying? So how many women can reach men without getting aggressive is stay in that feminine. I don't want to say it like that, but stay in that feminine nature. Bring up the concerns, and if it continues to happen and there's no change behavior after you gave it patience and grace, then you just gotta leave the situation. Like you know what I mean. There's no reason for you to uh to do all that.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
for sure. I don't think you heard me. I said that I ain't gonna be disrespectful. I'm gonna give them what
But
they
but
need to
but being
give, but
but being
I think my problem is sometimes I do be trying to steady, like instead of me just leaving the situation, it's like since that goes back to the patience, or I'm not going to just leave a person just because they had one little mistake. I'm gonna try and stick by your side because I know that you have better qualities in yourself, and I know that, say for example, you might be my safe space and my peace. So therefore, I'm not going to just leave you or be impatient with the situation because you're not understanding. But at the same time, that's like for men too. And I understand like being a woman and staying classy and being a lady, but at the same time, when you feel like someone is steady disrespecting you or doing disrespectful things or they just not getting the hint, you can't really control the way how you might speak when you are fed up. That's men too though. Now I get
Yeah.
what you're saying as far as being a lady and keeping it cute, but at the same time, when you gotta keep on telling a grown person something back to back to back to back, sometimes you do get a little fed up. And once again, I'm not saying disrespect someone, but when you have to keep on saying something to somebody when you've already communicated with them, had a talk with them in your most ladylike tone and voice and stuff like that, and it's like they're still not understanding at this point, it's like, okay, do you want me to
yeah
like fuss at you like your mama or something? Like, let me know.
yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like I heard everything you said, but then what I was saying like it's just when you start to get that aggressive tone that can be disrespectful. you know, you just said like you not disrespecting them, but when you do put that aggressive tone, certain people like me, I'm born from Baltimore City, where aggression that's disrespectful. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, I could call my man, shut up, bitch, da da da. But if I go, bitch, now it's up. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like the tone of your voice. That's all I was trying to say. But I mean, I get it. When you get fed up, of course you gonna say what's on your chest. Any woman gonna get mad and say some crazy stuff. Yeah, you give them patience and stuff like that. But you just got to be mindful of who you talking to, mindful of why what you about to do before you do it, if that makes sense. Like, and how you about to do it, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? So that's
All
all I'm
right.
trying to.
Noted. Noted.
What
Noted.
I was laughing for? I
Yeah,
was
go on, man.
laughing because out of nowhere your code switch came on so hard, and it was just
Yeah.
hard to stay serious with your code switch because the whole time you're talking the way you're talking, and then randomly, an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes into the pod, you randomly code switch with your stateside accent. So it was just, I was trying to
great.
keep my composure, but it was just so funny.
I didn't even notice I do that. But let me
We'll
do. Go ahead. Go
we'll
ahead.
be
Go ahead.
yanking. What they call it? Yanking?
Yeah,
Yanking?
yanking.
Yanking,
Yeah,
yanking, yeah.
Mm.
yeah. I can't help it because sometimes people can't understand. Well, it seems like everybody here can understand me for the most. I think because I
I mean,
directly was speaking to Indy, automatically in the back of my head, I just like, because Twan is like we at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know how to understand. I can't talk like it yet, but I can
But
understand y'all.
let me get mine out the way. And to this day, I have points where I really selfish. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about like selfish with my time and stuff like that. And I've come a long way, but there's still times where I do become very selfish in certain aspects, and it's something that I'm working through. You know what I'm saying? And recognizing when I am doing it and being able to give myself grace, and then come back and show that person some respect and be able to apologize for my selfishness. And hey, try to tell that person to check me when you feel like I'm being selfish, and do express that so that I could be able to work on it and give reason as why. Explain more, because sometimes the selfishness come from like I just so passionate, especially with emotions. Sometimes I just so passionate about like why trying to get across, and I just feel a way. So to be able to identify one, like why I feel this way and why I feel like whatever the case may be, and then acknowledge like, yo, maybe I was being a little selfish and I wasn't kind of seeing your point of view. Whatever the case. But that's me.
I've been doing that too lately. That's crazy. We maturing. We becoming
Maturing.
grown men.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you gotta say,
Grown men.
you gotta give yours,
Brian, what
Brian.
about you? No,
Yeah,
Brian,
you
I
kick
ain't
it
give
off. You
shit.
gotta give yours.
I mean, even though I am just great with words, it's what Twan mentioned is the tone, because like depending on the conversation we're having, that's something I just like. For me, I always tell people right off the bat, it's the opposite. I'd be like, listen to what I'm saying and not how I'm saying it, because I can't hear myself, but I know what I'm saying. So I may be telling you something that you need to hear, but to you it's like, I don't like this nigga because he got too much bass in his voice, or talking elevated. But it depends on the kind of conversation we're having, because I may be passionate, I may feel offended, but if I ain't calling out your name and I ain't cursing, listen to what I'm saying. Because some people are just there to, you're hearing me to just respond, but you're not listening to me. So I know I gotta work on this tone. I need to, I don't know, pick a neutral tone and just have that for the rest of my life, because that's been a major complaint, personal, relationship, friendship. And my tone, I can't hear myself. But I know for sure I'm not outright disrespecting anyone. If you're a loved one, you should, take it with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not out here trying to talk down to you or at you. So for me, I just prefer if you could hear my words, not how I see it, because I'm not really, talking out my neck. So that's something I'm working on, because it benefits me if, I could work on, just having a monotone voice, so it doesn't feel. But then again, I might get complained that I'm emotionless. So like, I don't know. But that's what I gotta work on. That's the complaints I've been getting. Y'all
With
give me
that,
some
I
ladies
got
and
example.
gentlemen. Oh, go ahead, Twan.
I was about to say I gotta work on both my tone and my motherfucking words. Cause I be cussing a lot. We
Yeah,
working on it.
Hey, we are
Yeah,
growing.
that's how
We
we
are
could do.
growing in real
We
time.
doing self reflections. I know where I fall short at, but I'm willing to work on it. With anybody in any aspect of my life, it's gonna be hard, but I be trying. That's all that matter
Self
though.
improvement is one thing you should work hard on. So that's facts.
Hell yeah, brother. I
Before
took
I
a lot.
clo-
I learned a lot from this pod, bro. I learned a lot from this pod. I ain't gonna lie.
before I close us off, I want to drive something home since we're talking about self reflection and stuff. Journaling, ladies and gentlemen. I can do it every time. Every time this come out, I gonna always be an advocate for journaling and writing some stuff down so that you could be able to reflect in the moment. Because sometimes the moment is hard to reflect. So if you write it down in the moment, then revisit it with a clearer head, you're able to digest these things and maybe be able to communicate your feelings more effectively. But with that,
All right.
Hey.
Wait. Two things though. Two
go
things
ahead, go ahead, go
before we
ahead, go
go.
ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Go for it. I guess I
Indy,
need to add.
Indy, you did say that you had a lingerie line. You wanted to the name anything that you wanted to just.
Okay, yeah, y'all can go and follow both of my business pages. One is called Uptown underscore period boutique, and that specializes in women and men clothing. And Unlaced with 3D specializes in men undergarments and women undergarments. So as far as lingerie, men boxers, briefs, robes, all of that, and everything is strictly custom made. Nothing is wholesale. So make sure y'all tap in with me.
Mm.
All right. And then second thing, Web, gratitude, man.
Facts, facts, facts. And we will be putting the information to that line in the description. So y'all definitely go check that out. But gratitude, man. Big shout out to my mother. Big shout out to my mother. Lately, I've been reaching out to my mother for a little bit more advice in my life. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. But yeah, I've been reaching out to my mother a little bit more for some advice now that I'm getting older. I appreciate the things my mother teaching me a lot more, and it gives me who I respect, a woman who I think is very powerful and very level headed and stuff, and I look up to. It gives me a perspective from a woman that I look up to be able to navigate my situations with women, my situation with my kids, my situations with the mother of my kids as well. So having that different perspective, and she has given me some real good tools to be able to use, and giving me what I felt was some good positive words. So shout out to moms, man. Shout out to moms.
All right. I guess I'll go, man. Guess I just gonna give gratitude for being able to put in work in the yard and being able to wake up and have the energy to do that. Father, husband. I do have all these tasks to do, but still able to get up and do what needs to get done around the house. Just gratitude for that.
Yeah, shit, man. I gave gratitude to y'all, man. Like straight up, like y'all give me different perspectives. Y'all teaching me something. My friends and my family and God, of course, waking me up. But yeah, I just give gratitude for being in an environment like this. So that's my take on it.
That's cool. That's cool. What am I grateful for this week? I'm gonna shout out the staff here at Bluebeards over here in St. Thomas. I've been here since the 8th of this month. They really
God
been looking
damn.
out for your boy. So we're on a first name basis at this point. I changed rooms a couple of times and they put me in a good one just now, just in time for the pod. So shout out to the fine ladies at the front desk here at Bluebeards. Yeah, so give thanks to those guys and
I need to go
ladies
to
as well.
Bluebirds.
Yeah, nice man. You gotta come true.
With that,
Oh, the title's so cool. Come
that's
true.
what I say, man. You see how easy it
Man,
slip in your
every
man just come
time,
true.
every time.
But with that, man, indeed, thank you. You're the newest person today, so thank you for allowing us some time to be able to get to know you a little bit and sharing your different perspective on this podcast. We all about just giving everybody a voice and about learning. You know what I'm saying? Because just because we think we know something, perspectives are easy to change. So we appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your feelings and everything that we talked about today. Twan, give thanks as usual for coming through again. You're a return host, and you already know anytime you get something, just come back to true. Lay off my boy Twan. Lay off my boy too on this
they was
post, you
on
know what
me.
I'm saying? You
They was on me.
I seen them. They posting whole Instagram stories and tagging you and some more shit.
Man,
So
going
I just
crazy,
posted
going
again. That's
crazy for no reason. And like
Yeah.
I said, I gotta work on my delivery. I apologize to everybody. I just gotta work on my delivery and my words. But I mean nothing but the best. And we giving y'all the gems to pretty much know how to get men, the men that you want, and not the men that's out here bullshit. So just listen to a couple of good brothers like us, and it's gonna be okay. Don't listen to argue. Listen to understand. Listen to understand. That's the message of the day. Listen to understand.
Facts.
You think a bathing suit is different from a bra and panties? We don't, but it's okay. We're gonna explain it to you. You listen to understand, and then you see the resemblance. Take a picture. I challenge every woman that hears this and sees this. Take a picture of you in your bikini, and then take a picture of you in your bra and panties, and tell me what's the difference. It really ain't that. It really ain't none. But it is what it is.
Say less. And my fellow co-host, Come True staff, thank you as well. Pat on our backs for putting on another dope episode. Our producer, Marcus, thank you for coming through as well. And with that,
Peace over the heart.